Dear friends, welcome back. This video series tries to highlight the legacy of Tamil Chola dynasty in the Southeast Asian countries from the travel notes of Chinese author Ma Huan, who accompanied the great admiral and explorer of China, Zhang He, in various expeditions during early 15th century around 1405 and 1430. This video will tell about the Tamil related facts in Kochi, present day Cochin, on the west coast of India. Setting sail from the country of Little Colon and following the mountains in the direction of northwest, you travel with a fair wind for one day and night. And when you reach the country, the ship is moored in the anchorage. To the east of this country, there are large mountains. On the west, it abuts on the Great Sea, and on the south and north, it lies beside the sea. There is a road by which you can go to neighboring countries. The king and the people of the country are also men of the Soli race. The king binds his head with a yellow and white cloth. On the upper part of the body, he wears no clothing, and round the lower part, he has a kerchief of hemp silk. He also wears a piece of colored hemp silk wound round the waist. This is called a waistband. The clothes worn by the chiefs and the rich people are much the same as those of the king. As to the houses in which the people live, to construct them they use coconut trees, and to cover them they use coconut leaves woven into strips like thatch through which the rain cannot leak. Every family uses a storehouse built of layers of bricks and mud. These storehouses differ only in size, and any delicate and precious articles which the people have are all placed inside these storehouses in order to guard against the fire and theft. The transactions of buying and selling are carried out in the same manner as among the Han people of the central country. The king of the country is a firm believer in the religion, and he venerated the elephant and ox. He has erected a temple for his god. The image of the god is cast in brass, and it has a dais built of layers of lapis lazuli. All round the edge of the idol's dais, a water course has been built, and close by a well has been dug. Every day a dawn bell was sounded and the drums beaten, and they draw water from the well and sprinkle it again and again over the head of the idol. The congregation all line up in rows to worship and then retire. They have a kind of people called Chochi, Yogi. They are sages, but they also have wives and children. Men of this class, from the time when they emerge from their mother's womb, never shave the hair and never even comb it. But they take the hair, rub it between the hands with butter and other such things, and twist it into strands, sometimes more than 10, sometimes 7 or 8 strands, which are spread out and trail down behind the head. Then they take the dung of yellow oxen, burn it to the white ash, and spread it all over the body. In their hands they grasp a large seashell, and they blow it continuously as they walk along. Their wives use a scanty cloth to cover their nakedness, and they walk along following their husbands. The class of people are devotees. If they come to a man's house, he gives them money, rice, and other such things. The climate of this country is always warm, like summer, and there is no frost or snow. The common saying, "Half the year is rainy, half the year is fine," is correctly applied to this place. The land has no other product but produces only pepper. The people mostly establish gardens to cultivate pepper for a living. Every year when the pepper is ripe, of course, big pepper collectors of the locality make their purchases and establish warehouses to store it. Then they wait until the foreign merchants from various places come to buy it. The king uses gold of 90% purity to cast coins for current use. They are called fanam. They also use silver to make coins. They are somewhat larger than the operculum of a sea mollusk. Each one gold coin is exchanged for 15 silver coins. And for petty transactions in the market streets, they use these latter coins. The king of this country too sends chiefs who accompany the treasure ships on their return from the Western Ocean, bringing local products to be offered as tribute to the central country. These are the words of Mark I about Kochi in the 15th century. I have a small thing to tell you here. When he describes about the king who follows the religion, he mentions it as Buddhist. I think during Mark I time, they were not knowing about the Saivism. So whatever religion they know is only Buddhism. But I have replaced all those words with just religion or God instead of Buddha as mentioned by Mark I. The content was taken from the book named Yingyai Xianglan, meaning the overall survey of the ocean's shores, written by Mark I in the year 1433 and translated in English by J.V.G. Mills. There are many more facts to share with you all. I will meet you in my next video with the notes on another place, Coolie, present-day Calicut, in the west coast of India, as mentioned in Mark I travel notes. We'll meet you soon. Until then, thank you and wishes.